Wait.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear us?
We switched.
We switched roles here.
Okay.
This is pretty cool.
That's
I'm in
better.
the driver's seat. Well, so here's what's going on. Why did we go live? Well, I said, hey, Gus, guess what I got in the mail? Came just like this. I literally have not even opened it yet, except for the envelope. Shearwater sent me the brand new Perdix 2 AI with transmitter. I said, let's literally live, non-rehearsed, messy, read all the specs right off their website and review it together. So this is supposed to be one badass new computer. So here we go. I'm excited. Look at this baby. This is how your beautiful Shearwaters will come, right? So I can see there's a transmitter in there and the case. Gus, you can answer questions while I'm doing stuff like this. I know it's not exciting to hear me undo bubble wrap, but look. So, Perdix 2. Shearwater always sends their computers in a gorgeous case, by the way, which is nice. I've always admired that. I'm going to open it right in front of everybody. So here it is. I'm unzipping it.
You can't see anything.
You can't see nothing?
By the way,
there she is.
On the wrapper that you just threw on the floor, they typically have instructions on the inside.
And they don't yet have them.
Where is it?
They do have some, but they also have everything. Like they'll tell you, in general, Shearwater's really big about download the manual. Like all the manual and stuff is online. So in this little compartment, they always send something. There's a little zipper compartment, and what they send, Shearwater typically, is a couple of things. And I'm going to show you what this is. This is a standard what you get from Shearwater when you buy a computer. You get this little coin looking thing, which is kind of cool with the Shearwater emblem on it. I know it's out of focus. I'll go back here. It's just a little blue like tool. That's how you're going to open it. Extra O-rings, 2 O-rings. They send you that. It'll be interesting. Hopefully there's a battery. That would be...
So people are asking, what is the Perdix 2? It's a dive computer.
And
so the Perdix 2
they
is
send you a little keychain.
That's,
Okay.
yeah,
So before I go through it, let me tell you what's on their website. Okay. It says this was a news announcement on June 1st. They're excited to announce 2 iconic flagship Shearwater dive computers that just came out, the Perdix 2 and the Petrol 3. We're only reviewing the Perdix 2 right now. Gus and I both use the Petrol 2 on our rebreathers because Petrol is made to read a loop on a rebreather. But this Perdix 2, we both happen to use as a backup computer when we are on our rebreathers. So this would be on your other arm as a backup computer. It's not a computer that's reading the loop. It's also great, by the way, for regular recreational diving or open circuit diving or open circuit technical diving. So the first thing they say, so let's look at it. It says it's our toughest and most reliable full-size computer yet. The armored casing with precision titanium, cool, surrounded bezel and dependable titanium piezo touch buttons protect performance enhanced electronics. So let's check it out. Let's look at it.
The previous computer did not come with a titanium face. The Petrol does, though.
So look at the titanium, and
awesome.
The buttons are titanium. None of their old computers had that. Do you see that, Gus?
That's awesome.
That's really cool. And by the way, I'm holding it. I'm going to hand it to you. I want you to feel this thing. Just feel it. Tell me that's not like an armored tank. Oh, that thing's beautiful. I mean, it just feels amazing. It feels amazing. We get excited about this. By the way, these are the straps that you feed through it. I'm not going to do that. You don't need to see me feed through straps, but it's really easy to do. And they also send you like this braided cord. You know why they send you this? Some people like to mount the computer around a slate. So like you have a flip slate on your wrist, and you can thread these cords through the Perdix and then around that. So basically, your computer and a written slate is on your arm. I don't like that. I use wet notes, so I will ultimately put these 2 wrist straps on, and these are great when you're wearing a dry suit. But yeah, we don't need to do that for the show.
A few questions while I hand you this.
Hand me back my baby.
All right, so a few questions.
I can't wait to dive with this thing.
Somebody asked what's the best recreational computer. It's hard to answer, but Shearwater makes the best computers in the world. So the Perdix, the Perdix 2 is an amazing computer, and also the Perdix. And somebody connected to that question was, can we get an updated Perdix? We just did. Shearwater released a brand new special edition Perdix very, very soon, which I also own, which I wish I had, so I can show it to you, but we'll just bring in another live stream.
So yeah, either one, and the big difference is, do you want a watch-style computer? That would be the Perdix, or do you want a sort of a wrist-mounted computer, on your wrist that obviously you wouldn't wear day to day? Because I wear my Perdix all the time. By the way, all the Shearwater computers are really customizable. Like, you like pink? You can make your colors pink. What you want on your face? Really easy menu system. Very, very intuitive. So look, this is how it comes. It has like this outer screen thing. This outer screen thing is pretty much what the face is going to look like when I turn it on. So this peels off like so. And the way you turn on all Shearwater wrist-mounted computers is you double touch button. And, oh, it does have battery in it. Here she goes. Powered up. And what comes on is it's right now set for air. It has, it's set up in a recreational mode. So it has your safety stop, no decompression limit right on the face. It has your, your depth and so forth and so on. It has the air temperature and the current time. Very standard recreational face. Shearwater computers, in general, you remove the battery. So easy. Right here, I don't know if you can see it. You just take that little blue tool. So you can see I'm holding a blue tool right to like a notch right there. And you just unscrew that. You pop in a lithium battery, because they really recommend you don't use alkaline. Lithium batteries, because they don't leak as much. Mm-hmm. And you really got to make sure you screw it in all the way. It's a 2 O-ring system, so you want to make sure both O-rings screw back in all the way. And, okay, so we've already turned it on. Touch button, turn it on. The way all Shearwaters work is left button scrolls through menus. Right button engages like an enter. So left is scrolling through different menu options on Shearwaters, and then the right is like enter. So if you want to enter into a particular function, you left click through it, get to that function, and then right click and it enters into that function, bringing up other sub menus relevant to that particular topic. That's across the board for all Perdix computers. But let's talk about some of the other things that they said. They basically said it has a new aluminum silicate glass lens, guards a fantastic 2.2 bright screen, and offers improved clarity, impact, and damage resistance. A strong vibration customizable alert system draws attention at critical moments. That's cool.
That's new. The vibration.
So the vibration is something that
previous Perdix didn't do that.
And you can click into what's called a system setup menu. Yeah. I don't have to click through every sub menu. Very easy. And then you turn on or off different features. So that's kind of cool. And air integrated. So basically, they sent me a transmitter as well. I'll open that in a second. Their new Swift transmitter. So it's reading your air pressure. And it says up to 4 Shearwater transmitters allows room to grow from a first computer to a powerful, proven, advanced technical diving solution. Absolutely. And it's awesome. It's delivered through the AA batteries. Very, very easy. So what I thought would be cool, Gus, is I don't know if it's going to come through on the computer, but that is super bright. Let me see if there's a difference. I'm going to turn on your Perdix 1. I'm sorry that you'll be diving with the 1 and I'll be diving with the 2.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell.
Oh, yeah. Yours hurts my eyes compared to. Now, look, the Perdix 1 is amazing. I want to tell you that. But the Perdix 2 is more amazing. Can you tell, Gus? Brighter. Just on the screen, it's brighter.
Yeah. You can tell on the screen that the Perdix 2 is brighter.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm going to turn Gus's off. It's a left click and then right click. Turns it off. Okay. So the transmitter that comes with, that is now sold by, Shearwater, or the Swifts. What's cool about them, if you don't have the Swift transmitters, is that they actually listen. So this thing is out there listening to see, is another transmitter transmitting at the same time it's trying to send a signal. So it doesn't get blocked or interfered. And if it's not, so it waits. It's like, nope, nobody else is sending a signal. Now I'll send my signal. So in other words, if you put 4 of these on, let's say if you have 4 different gases, in our case, Gus and I will be wearing a left tank, a right tank, oxygen. So that's 3 right there. Yep. Maybe sometimes even a 4th tank.
Yep.
All 4 will not interfere with each other, and you can set up your screen on your Perdix to read all 4 tanks. And you can even label, like, rather than just say tank 1, tank 2, tank 3, you could change the wording in it. You could say like O2 tank or left dill tank or right dill tank. So you know which one is which.
Yep.
Very easy. It screws in everybody to a high pressure port on your first stage. It screws right in. And these also have interchangeable batteries. So they're not rechargeable. The batteries on the transmitters.
There's one in my desk, right on my desk if you want to show the battery. Like right in front of you. There's like a little Duracell or whatever it's called.
I wish they could see what's in front of me on your desk, because
there's a million things
beyond disgusting.
It's not disgusting.
It's so much stuff in front of me.
It's an organized mess.
I don't know what I'm.
All right, it's a battery. You know how batteries look.
It's this battery. They call it the which battery is this? The CR2.
Yes.
It's a CR2 battery is what goes into the transmitters of the Swift transmitters. And by the way, I haven't even changed the battery yet on one, so I don't even know how exactly to change them. Do you? Have you changed them?
Every year.
I know. I haven't. I know Shearwater, they like you and they've sent you Swift transmitters, but this is the first I finally got one. No, do you know, seriously, do you know how to change it?
Yeah. These are a little bit more complicated than the previous ones. By the way, speaking of the previous
ones. Is it unscrewing these outer rings?
No. So just to mention this, the previous ones are also very reliable, but they came in 2 different colors. So if you wanted to have up to 2 transmitters, it wouldn't support more than 2, then you have to get 1 of each color because it would report at different times.
So look, there's a little tool that comes with the transmitter.
Yeah.
I haven't done this yet. It looks like it may go into like something right on the top, a hole maybe on the top.
The case comes out and then you change the battery and put the case back on it.
So that little hole?
Yeah, that's the pressure release valve.
Okay, so where is the...
So it's on the sides, but the whole case comes out.
Oh, so it's all of those. It's a bunch of screws.
Yes.
Okay, so there's around the perimeter, this thing fits in perfect, this little tool. Yeah, I can feel it now. You unscrew them all in and out, and
yep,
that's it. So anyway, don't lose that little tool with your transmitters if you get them. I'm gonna put this away so I don't lose mine.
The original transmitters are compatible with Perdix 2. That somebody asked. Yep,
they are. And by the way, the way you sync it, this is pretty much across the board, is on the transmitter. It has a big number that you sync it to. Like this one says 270184, and you would put in your computer, like there's a screen that basically says what's the transmitter number, and you type that in on where the input field where you put in transmitters. Like there's a screen that says turn AI on, and then you just input the number that's on your transmitter, and that's how you sync to any Shearwater transmitter or the other transmitters. Like Gus said, doesn't have to be a Shearwater transmitter. These transmitters, by the way, I know we're going to get this question. Can you use these? Let's get it out right now. Can you use these as oxygen transmitters? In other words, can you plug this into a port that's reading greater than 40% oxygen. In our case, 100% oxygen. And Shearwater will tell you they're oxygen compatible, but they want you to go through the process of making sure you O2 clean those transmitters.
Yeah.
The right lubricants, et cetera, et cetera. So they put a big disclosure right on their site about that.
So
okay.
Somebody's asking, will you be able to name the transmitters on the Perdix 1? Yes. So if you update to the latest firmware, you'll be able to do it. The latest firmware, by the way, it comes with more than just the ability to pair with 4 transmitters and be able to rename them. It also comes with a new diving mode, which is side mount. So now you can program your computer to be side mount, reading from 2 tanks, and it will actually remind you. So like, in side mount, when you dive, you breathe out of one tank, let's say 500 PSI, you breathe 500 from the other one. You're taking turns. Well, now the computer, the Perdix 2, will actually vibrate to let you know, like, switch. And then you switch to the other one and switch to the other one. So the computer's actually helping you stay on top of it.
And so we could, yeah. In our case, we're diving on a rebreather, so we could actually use that feature as well if we had 2 of the same gases on both sides. So that could come in handy. Okay, the next thing that it talks about is that it is air, nitrox, 3 gas nitrox can be entered. 3 gas nitrox computer for the serious recreational dive user. Customizable display layout, optionally air, integrated using Swift transmitters. Open circuit technical, trimix enabled. So if you are a trimix open circuit diver, no problem. That means that you're adding a 3rd gas, which is namely helium. So now you not just your oxygen level and your obviously your helium level as well. So that's fantastic. It has a closed circuit and bailout option. So that's how we change the Shearwater computers in general. You go to a screen that enables you to change it from recreational open circuit to a closed circuit mode.
Just for
and you can see. Can you see me clicking? Can you see me clicking? It says now select gas. I'm just clicking the left button. Dive setup, dive log, start Bluetooth, so you can sync this to your phone. You download the Shearwater app. So this is how I would update firmware. I would put the Shearwater app on my phone, and I can update the firmware this way. I can also upload my logs right to my phone, and that'll be stored on the Shearwater cloud. That's really cool. System setup. So again, this is me right-clicking into any particular menu, right? So I just right-clicked. Now, if I want to scroll through all the system setup menus, I can keep left-clicking. I got to turn it to myself so I can see it. Here's AI setup, right? So AI setup. Now I would right-click on edit, and now I would click on AI mode, edit, and I simply turn it on. So I changed it to on. I hit save, and now what happens is it's bringing up other aspects to enter for the AI setup, like what kind of units do you want to measure in, your text setup, your gradient factor modes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's the general format of all the Shearwater computers is basically left click and then right click to get into a menu. Look, you can change here. It's asking me about things like, what do you want on your bottom row? I could change, things to be in the middle and the top, whatever. You can experiment with that. You can absolutely change colors. I will change everything to pink later on. So it's not that hard if you just left click through the menus, right click in, and explore the entire computer when you get it. It's super intuitive. Here's my nitrox gases. It's right now asking me to enter 3 different nitrox gases. That's really, really cool. So I'm just continuing to left click. Here's different alert and alarm setups. Do you want it to vibrate? Do you want it to beep? Do you want it to do both?
Let's answer some questions, Woody, because they're piling up. So somebody asked if you compare, if you heard it right, that you compare more than one transmitter with the Perdix one. The answer is yes.
Yes.
We actually have a video. Months ago, I recorded a video where I did 4 on the Perdix one, which Perdix 2 wasn't even out at that point, so you can check that out on the channel. The other, there's a couple of questions about the Garmin Descent Mark II, which is the air integrated version. I haven't dived with it. I've asked Garmin a couple times to send me one so I can test it and dive with it, so I can give my thoughts about it, because I don't like trash talking, other companies without testing them first.
Wait, there's other companies make dive computers?
Allegedly, some other companies are trying.
Cool. Wow.
But I personally don't consider the ability to find golf courses as a primary function of a dive computer. I like dive computers to just
by the way, when I turn
be awesome at dive computing.
By the way, when I turned this on, I just couldn't resist. I never had this. It gives you a synaptic feedback. It went beep beep. Yeah. Double vibrate. That's so cool. No, that's a good point. I mean,
somebody else said, is the Perdix 2 basically a Perdix 1 with vibrate? No. There's actually, it's smaller.
High resolution, easier to read, lower profile. Let me read it. Let me tell you all the features. Let's not guess. That's what I was telling you. So it has the titanium. It has the titanium on the outside. The buttons are now titanium. It allows you to put in more gases. The 2.2 display is much, much easier. We just turned on the Perdix 1 versus the Perdix 2. 30% smaller in volume than the Petrol 2, by the way. We talked about the vibrations, user replaceable batteries. That's all the same. Bluetooth wireless is the same. User customizable display. That's the same. Multiple languages, cloud control, etc., etc. So the big difference is the display, more gases that you can input.
It's thinner. The
and
computer is thinner.
It's definitely thinner.
Yep.
Maybe I can... It's hard to tell because you have a really nasty orange case. If it was pink, I could see it better. But anyway, it's an overall upgrade. I mean, I could. It's just, the thing is it's like a tank, man. This titanium it's really, really nice. So that's basically what they're saying on their on their website.
The Petrol 3 will come with air integrations. Somebody asked that question. Yep, it's one thing that wasn't on the Petrol 2 that is now on the 3. How heavy is it? I'm not really sure. I'm sure you can find the specs, but obviously the weight doesn't really matter. It's all how much it weighs in the water. What's the difference?
I don't really feel a weight difference between Gus's number 1 and this number 2. I'm just reading to see if there's anything else on their specs. Yeah. And keep on going with the questions. I mean, I could flip through every menu and enter different fields, but that's not going to be meaningful for you. I've already told you what you can do. Left click, right click, left. And underwater, when you're switching, that's really nice. Gus and I sometimes on a closed circuit mode. The way it works is I have to bail out. I have to get off of my loop and onto open circuit. It's as simple as underwater, it turns into a dive mode automatically. Left, right, and you've bailed out. So left, right, and you've bailed out. Then you could left, right again to even select your bailout gases. One thing I love about the Shearwaters is the intuitiveness. It's so easy to navigate through their menus. There's a dive log. They probably already have a log on there from their test. So display.
Kent is asking if I was planning on upgrading my Taric, but I am contemplating KISS rebreathers 12 to 18 months from now. Should I get a Petrol 3 with a Fisher connector? No. You shouldn't get a Petrol 3 with a Fisher connector. You actually get your Petrol directly from KISS, which will be pre-wired with a 4-pin connector that Shearwater makes exclusively for KISS. And I think the AP Inspiration, there's another brand of rebreathers, but only 2 companies that get the 4-pin, which is a much more reliable connector than the Fisher.
Look at the log, man. It's so cool because it gives you so much more information. It tells you about every single tissue. It tells you your limit, your ceiling limit. This is just a log entry that was in there. It tells you your max temperature, your minimum temperature, your average temperature. I'm going to keep on going. Here's what you were diving, the type of gas you were diving, the surface interval between the last dive. The millibars is really interesting, like what altitude were you at during that dive. The gradient factor. By the way, it came set on a 40-85 gradient factor. We now Gus and I, because of Simon Mitchell and Doug Ebersol, are changing, and we are diving a 50-70 profile. That's beyond the scope of this call to explain gradient factor.
Let's see what other questions people have. Doesn't have to be about Shearwater, by the way. If you have any other questions about the show, I saw some people talking about today's video with Dr. Richard Harris. Great talk. Let's see. He's like, we switched seats, and everybody's like, is everything okay? Like, are you okay?
Well, yeah, we're great, man. I'm just looking. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of. I'm sort of looking at this for the first time with you guys. It's basically the menu system is pretty much the same, except for the fact that it can allow more gases now.
I bought a Perdix AI a month ago. Did I make a mistake? No. Like the fact that you found one. That's awesome because they were like hard to find. But the AI one, I'm gonna continue to dive mine. It's an amazing computer. With the latest firmware, it does everything that Perdix 8.
You want to rent mine?
Perdix 2 does, except for the fact that it doesn't vibrate and it's a little bit heavier or bigger in your arm. But other than that, it's a solid computer.
You want to use my titanium brighter Perdix?
No.
2 with more gases that you can enter. You don't want to use it?
I'm good.
I will rent that to you for such a good price.
Plus, mine has an orange ring around it. Only one in the world that has that.
And mine's the only one with a pink one.
Exactly.
And the only one around. No, I'm gonna let you know. I probably will let you rent mine. No, it's really nice. Look, they're always going to upgrade, but this brings up a question in general.
This is an important question.
Well, before we get to the question, in general, guys. You're always going to be behind the curve, okay? So don't worry about it if you just bought an older one because, frankly, they're fantastic. They only make, they make some upgrades, but your other one, your Perdix one, is going to last you for 10 more years easily.
Yeah. This is an important question. The question was, do you guys have a way to sign up to do dive trips with you guys?
Okay.
Funny that you mentioned.
That's a very good question. So you can answer that.
Yeah, we are currently working on Dive Talks 2023 meetup. We already did a meetup this year. We had 26 people or so in the meetup. Great experience. Everybody loved it. But we're actually going bigger next year. We are really working on nailing down the dates, but it's going to be somewhere in the Caribbean, and we want you all to come. Everybody, save your money. Join us next year. We're looking at July time frame, so it will be a year for you guys to prepare for it. And Woody and I will be there, and we're going to go diving. It's going to be awesome.
It's the case for the transmitter.
Can you sync all 4 transmitters to 2 Perdix computers? Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. You have any experience with Scuba Pro A700 regulator? Yeah, I own that regulator. It was my main open circuit regulator forever until I gave it to my brother. And it's awesome. I had the A700 carbon, actually. Keep showing stuff.
Quick start guide, by the way, is what Gus was referring to easier. So you just undo the band that it came with, and it does have this quick start guide. That was what is wrapped around the computer. But honestly, it's so easy, everybody. To turn one on, you double click. You click both buttons at the same time. To turn it off, you left click until it says power off, and then you right click. So turning it on is a 2-click.
Any experience with a Tech Line gear? Not really, other than I've been able to put my hands on it. The Tech Line gear is made by Apex, and it looks legit. It looks awesome. Honestly, the only complaint I have with the BCD, the Tech Line BCD, is that the trim pockets are on the waist. I really like the trim pockets to be in the back and really as high as possible because it helps with trim. But other than that, everything else they got right. They really did a good job with that. Let's see. What else? What other questions we have? How long does it usually take to go from no certification to having CAVE certifications? That's impossible to answer because it all depends on your skills, your ability to pick up skills, and how often do you train, right? How often do you go diving? If you go diving every day, you can probably get certified from nothing to CAVE within like a year if you dive every day and you happen to pick it up quickly. But if you dive once a year, then that's going to be decades. So it really depends. Is there a Perdix 2 giveaway? I hope so. Someday. We're not giving this one away, but
the reason we're not. Thanks for saying that, since this one's like mine. I thought he was about to give away my Perdix 2.
We are absolutely giving
The funny thing is, I only had the original Perdix when it first came out. I was one of their testers before it even had AI, so I finally just got this. For some reason, Gus has gotten them before, and now I'm finally was privileged enough to get one.
But mine I bought. Do you guys recommend a transmitter on a 6-inch hose with a back-mounted double setup? I don't know. I don't dive back-mounted doubles, but on my Spirit, I have the transmitter on a 12-inch hose. So I like to sit right by my shoulder up here. So,
and I'm going to give an opinion on it. I prefer not to do that.
Yeah.
Why? Because I had it.
You had it fail a couple times.
Fail 3 times when it was on the hose, right at the connection point where that high-pressure spool is. So I don't find it to not read. In other words, the transmitter now, the Swift transmitters are really strong. So if I just plug it right into the first stage, not on a hose, I'm not losing signal. It's working great.
Yep. How do you guys pack and fly with your sidewinders and Sorb? I've never flown with Sorb. We always go to destinations where they have the Sorb already for us. But the sidewinder gets packed into a Pelican case, basically. It's called the Air 1615, I believe, is the number, which is the lightest Pelican Air that you can check into, a flight.
Now, I, on the other hand, literally just use a hard-shelled suitcase. Yep. Never been a problem. And the Sidewinder and the Spirit both break down to be really minimal, less than even what your open circuit gear is. So easy to pack.
Robin, thank you for being awesome and for reminding people to like this video and to subscribe if you haven't done that.
I have Elle down here.
I miss Robin. She's so good to hang out with.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Do you ever free dive? No.
Yes. Yes, I used to do a lot of free diving when I would go lobster hunting. And in fact, there are a lot of places, like in the Bahamas, for example. If you want to lobster hunt, you can't do that on scuba. They make you free dive.
Any technical differences between Perdix 1 and Perdix 2? Like capabilities-wise, no. You can do the same dives.
Yeah, but the biggest thing they're saying, let me read it again for those that are coming on. It says it's their toughest, most reliable full-size computer. The armored casing with titanium surround bezel and the buttons are now titanium. Right. They're saying that it has a 2.2 bright screen, so we just turned on both. It is brighter. It is improved clarity, impact, and damage resistance. Stronger vibration, customizable alert system. So that's something that's really good. And air integration with up to 4 Shearwater transmitters. That's the main differences. And it's smaller, lower profile design.
Somebody's saying that you're the Swiss Army knife of aquatics. I don't even know.
Thank you. I think.
Oh my God.
Okay, now I can read and. My review is that, like always, man, Shearwaters, when they come out with something new, they're fantastic, but they don't make it to where your older Shearwaters aren't useful. They're totally, totally fine. And you could use those probably for another 10 years. You don't have to, rush out to upgrade to this.
Yeah. James is asking, thank you for your super chat. James, how do you get to be a product tester? We just got invited.
Yeah.
We got asked by Shearwater if we would want to test their computers, and we said, yeah, we'll be crash test dummies.
Gabriel, thank you, by the way, from Shearwater. You knocked it out of the park. This thing is beautiful, and I will be diving it a lot coming up.
Yeah.
I have a lot of, I'm teaching 2 students on the KISS Spirit here coming up, and I have a couple of cool cave diving trips planned. One of them I'll be in Mexico with the new owner of KISS, Mike Young and Doug Ebersol. We're experimenting with new teaching methods, and I'm honored that they invited me to be one of the guinea pigs.
When is part 2 of the Gator video coming out? The first one was awesome. Did everybody see the gator video, by the way? Everyone in this live stream, I wonder if everyone saw it, because
it's weird that I just said to Gus, part 2 is when it really gets started. Wait till you see part 2. I get it. Part 1's mellow and all of that. Part 2, I can't believe it. You'll have to watch. It's insane.
It's hard to know with these because we're not diving or talking about diving or anything remotely to diving. So I'm always like, will people even care or watch? And
it wasn't as popular as the other ones, but I think part of it was because, like I said, the real action is going to be in part 2. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those that are asking, the thumbnail that Gus changed it to with the fingers, the father and son fingers, that's real. And the sign that I'm standing in front of, no, that's not some sign in some tourist attraction in Florida. That's at the Young's Gator Farms. The Youngs created this farm, man, and it's a sanctuary. It's saving these animals. These things were like pets, and they became too big. They were going to be killed or thrown out. And you should see the treatment they get. I mean, the 2 albino steaks, the gators were fed New York strips. When I looked at the New York strips, I was like, throw that on a grill for me.
Yukon Sean Holland is asking, I already dive a Perdix AI. I will be getting a Sidewinder this year since I need a backup computer for my cave diving. Should I get a Petrol, or will the Perdix work with the Sidewinder?
Absolutely. So, go ahead. You can answer, and then I'll answer if you don't answer it.
Well, the Sidewinder, typically you will order that with a hardwired computer already, which should be the Petrol. And hopefully, if you haven't ordered already, it will come with a Petrol 3, which is the brand new one.
Which, by the way, has the same type of upgrades that this Perdix has. So
correct.
It's the better, it's brighter, it's the titanium and so forth.
Yep.
So just to be clear on that. So your primary computer will be the Petrol because that's hardwired into the Sidewinder.
Yep.
Now continue, because it's Perdix.
And then you will use the Perdix as your backup,
yes,
which will not be connected to your Sidewinder, but it will be on a permanent set point, which is 1.2 for me. So it's calculating as if your rebreather was always a 1.2. So if your main computer goes out, you know, this is a good indication of what deco, if anything, you have left, and you can get out of there.
Yeah, and you'll learn that you can make that Perdix to set point, be at a certain set point at certain depths, and then when you hit different depths, it'll auto change. I don't like that. I just keep it on 1.2. Yep. But just to be clear, that's typically on our right arm, and it's not reading the loop. It's just a backup in case you have to bail out and go on to open circuit. So
somebody's saying, are you guys going to dive with the Blue World team? Yes, we are actually going to be diving with them. I don't think I've told you this, but we have like solid plans cooking.
No, I mean, I knew we were trying to dive with them. I didn't know that the plans have been firmed up.
Well, they're not firmed up, but
okay, so then it's where it was.
But it's more legit than ever. Okay. It's closer than ever. I promise.
Anybody out there know Mr. Ballin? I'd love to dive with him.
Ballin,
B. Allen.
Yes, we'd love to do that. Is there any places you've had a bad dive experience? I'm sure.
My deepest free dive, I think, was probably. I mean, I did a lot of it when I was younger, but it had to be in the Bahamas, where I was dipping down to like 90-ish range to hit those reefs. What you do is you go down, you spear the lobster, and then you come up, and you do not take your eyes off that sucker. Okay, regain your breath, go back down, get them, and then come up.
Oh wow! You don't bring it up with you after you spear them?
Typically, a lot of times no, because imagine you just fired that spear, right? And it went underneath something or whatever. Sometimes you got to come up to go back down.
Okay.
Depends. I was my maximum that I ever held my breath. Again, I was younger. Being held down, not moving or whatever, like in a hot tub, was like close to 5 minutes. But typically, I was like a 2 to 3 minute guy free diving. I mean, there's people that are so far beyond me.
Have you guys ever went diving in Canada? Nope, not yet.
Sounds cold, but
Shearwater has invited us to come and visit the factory and go diving in Canada.
Did I tell you they sent me a Perdix too that I will let you borrow? It'll be pink.
Whatever.
I know. Don't be upset. You'll look at it.
Let's see.
She is. I'm gonna open her up again. Just
still?
one more time. Make sure she's.
Already.
Let me make sure my Perdix 2 is still in here.
That's.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Will the Peregrine have an upgrade and a compass? I don't know. Probably not. I mean, they're trying to keep the Peregrine as the entry computer, aka lowest price computer for a reason. You know, under $500.
By the way, it's super good computer.
Amazing.
I mean, for a recreational dive computer, that thing's gonna grow with you.
Yep.
For a long time. There's my Perdix 2. Look at the bright. That vibrate. It goes when it's on. I can't wait to feel that on my wrist. Couple vibes like that. Yeah, love a little vibration while I'm diving.
Wow. Any trip to Paris?
Here's yours.
I would love to go to Paris again.
This one's. I just want to remind you. This one's yours. This one's mine. Yours. Mine.
Mine is awesome.
Yours.
The only one in the world. You have
yours. Mine.
Let's see. What else do we have?
We're going to be doing. Oh, don't you? You will not believe what you're going to be doing, young lady. I like to talk to my Shearwaters. Do you understand where this thing's going to go?
Let's see. What other questions do we have? Will you guys consider doing more vlogs before dives? Yeah, we thought about it. The challenge with the vlogs is that we're always, when we go diving, like, we're so busy. Like, I would love to have somebody come along and, like, shoot us while we're getting ready, while we're dive planning, talking about.
Yeah, Josh. What happened to Josh Underwood? Does he dive anymore?
I think he's retired.
I mean, come on, Josh.
But no, but like that's the thing is challenging because I mean we take it seriously. I don't want to be like recording and miss something on the briefing or something. So it's just hard to record and vlog, you know, and do all of that while really staying safe and paying attention. So something has to suffer, and it's typically the video, the recording. Like I've lost count, literally. I've never said this publicly. I've lost count of how many trips we've done that I started recording and the videos will never release because we never finished them. Like we recorded like a few things here and there or whatever, and then we did not record the rest because we were diving and busy, and it was a waste. Like we didn't have enough content.
And I don't think they realize what we mean by busy. It's literally when Gus and I are on one of these trips, it's like wake up in the morning, fill tanks, or it's a morning dive. After the dive, we've got to get our 2 Burger King sandwiches in. Then we're off to fill tanks. It could be that I mean, there's so much going on, and all of a sudden, it's like we're up late. We can make it till sometimes 8:30 at night.
You're focused.
I mean, by 8:30 at night, I'm like. And Gus is like, did you hear the sound difference there?
All right. Stop messing my microphone, please. Oh, my God. Did you just cough into the microphone? Bro. I need to buy a new mic now.
I have a lot of the hats, guys. They're right over there in my recording chair. They're going to get crazier. Not less, but even more. I cannot wait to expose some of the future hats that I'm going to have. I love them. So
some people really like the fact that this video today was over an hour long. So that was good. People really enjoy that. This video coming up on Friday, it's even longer.
Yes. But Harry was amazing, wasn't he? Everybody who ever watched that, I mean, how humble was he? He was just
amazing.
He was so humble, like just in his tone and his demeanor. I mean, he literally was part of the team that saved those kids, and you heard him. They did not think that was going to happen. Like they thought it had a slim chance of getting those kids out of that Thai cave.
Absolutely. Let's see what else. Dude, stop. This is embarrassing. Okay. Let's see what else do we have. Maybe I should wear one of the hats. Yeah.
No, don't put one of my hats on over there of your hair.
By the way,
get it all messy.
She made a hat for me. The octopus hat was for me. That's why it's orange.
I love it.
And then you wear it.
Thank you.
And it looks awful on you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for giving it to me.
It's just.
Thank you. That was very nice of you. I'm serious. You don't do a lot of nice things, but that was one of them.
Have you guys dived in Europe at all? If not, are you planning to? Right now, there's no plans, but yes, I dove in Iceland. When will you be in Mexico?
I dove Iceland and England. Believe it or not, I dove in England, and I can't even remember. Let me take out my Swift transmitter again while we're talking.
Why?
I just want to look at it, make sure it's... I want to make sure you didn't do a switcheroo on me. While I was...
Have you ever dived under ice?
Yep.
Woody did.
So it's a video.
You still have PTSD.
That's no joke. There's a video of my entire ice. I wanted to get an ice diving cert. It's actually Doug Ebersol, and he said, "Look, will you just do this with me? It's on my bucket list." I'm like, okay. Out in Utah in a blizzard, literally snow, and we ice dove. We had to do everything to pass the class. Cut the ice, drag the stuff out.
Here's the funny part. The whole time leading up to this class, the only thing Woody talked about was using the chainsaw to cut the ice. That's the only thing he talked about. It's like, I can't wait to use the giant chainsaw to cut the ice open. And during the video,
very good job,
you watch him do that, and he's excited. He's like pumped up, dancing, like getting like sprayed with water, whatever. And then he was like, okay, you cut the hole, now jump in. And he was like, do I have to?
I also got to use the auger. Is that what it's called? Auger? The thing that drills a hole?
You're asking me?
So basically, I'm drilling a hole. I never used one of these things before. I'm like, and I start getting cocky, right? I'm like, yeah, I got this. Then all of a sudden, it's like, the whole auger. I literally almost dropped the Thornton's auger through the ice, straight down to the bottom of this ice lake. I don't know how deep down there it goes. God. And they were laughing. That's on the video. I'm not a power tool guy. Look at the beautiful thing.
Or a regular tool guy. Will you guys consider taking guests in the
I hit me delayed, but it is funny, I have to admit. No tool guys. Well, we all have our strong suits. I dive and you play with tools, so that's fine.
Good point. Directly convey to diving. No, I don't know if that's something we'll ever really cover a whole episode on. We'll see.
That's my Tarek. Okay, I'll pick. I get distracted. Like, I know it's terrible. Wow, look at this book that the transmitter comes with. I mean, who's gonna read all this on a transmitter? Look at all this. Is all just on a transmitter. Shearwater. What's in this thing? It's all the specs and languages and all that. But
if you could dive anywhere in the world, where could it be? Where would it be? I don't know. I mean, there's so many places I want to go to. I want to go to the Galapagos.
Well, you need to go to Chuck
Lagoon. Yeah, I want to go. I want to dive in the Arctic Circle.
Indonesia is. I've been.
Indonesia.
But it's
just
for
on
you.
And on and on and on. Yeah, people. Yukon Sean Holland has mentioned a couple times, and I do think we should take him up on it, on making wet notes, Dive Talk wet notes. You know how they have like a cover or whatever with our logo?
Well, who and when?
What do you mean?
Did you just say somebody will make them?
Well, yeah, people come up with ideas, great ideas in this case, but then we have to be the ones that go and make them.
Well, that's Effie?
Well, yeah.
I drove with him for 14 hours. I deserve to have him make wet notes. Because if you drive with Effie for 14 hours, that's 14 hours. Imagine that I talk a lot, and I got like 4 words in. Just saying. 4 per 14-hour session.
Yes. Let's see.
All right, come on.
What else do we have? Yes, we are in the same room. People are always asking if we're in the same room.
She's just scratching. My baby wanted to come up, so just let her have a little time with me.
Let's see. What else do we have?
Let's see him.
Colorado.
He's not here to defend himself.
European Lake, no.
He's sleeping, Effie. Underwater Wi-Fi in a cave? I don't think it exists.
No.
So the answer is no. We've never dived a cave with underwater. I don't want to say it. I'm always afraid to say it definitely doesn't exist, but I don't think that is a thing.
Underwater Wi-Fi, my God. Let's see. What's the strangest dive to date and why? That's a good question.
Strangest? What do you mean by strangest, though? Like where we had an accident?
I don't know. Yeah.
Look who wrote that. This guy, I don't know who it is, anonymous. 2022 and no Wi-Fi. What a joke. What is he talking about? It's underwater in a cave.
Do you prefer Florida or Georgia for diving? Florida. There's nothing in Georgia. So, Florida. 10,000 times more.
Yep.
See.
So, somebody that just joined, we did unveil the Perdix 2. And thank you, Dylan.
Alex. That's Alex. 14 hours with F is impressive. Yep.
I know, absolutely. Man. So we did just unveil the Perdix 2 for those that are just joining. We went through all the new specs. Basically what I did is I just opened up their website. I turned it on. I compared it to the Perdix 1. The biggest differences are the titanium bezel and buttons, the stronger screen, the brighter screen, and more features, like more vibration modes, more customization, the ability to monitor 4 tanks at once, things like that. Really, really, really nice computer.
Yeah. So we'll do let's do like 7 more minutes. And then we'll drop. Let's see what else. Yes, we are in the same room. It's funny because several people have come here to the studio and they're always like, "Oh, wow. It looks like complete different rooms, and we're like 10 feet from each other." It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. Just angles, guys.
Right next to each other. Thank you for the compliments. I'm reading those, and it's appreciated. And we're really loving Dive Talk. I something that is just a part of our lives now because of you guys. Thank you. My least favorite place to dive? That's an interesting question, actually.
Least favorite place.
That's a good question. My least favorite...
I may have an answer for that.
I mean, Hudson Grotto can be a little tricky at times. Let me think about it. My least favorite place. I try to live in the moment, and I end up enjoying every dive, but you have one? Yeah, go ahead. You can say yours while I'm thinking.
But I would still dive there. I mean, it doesn't mean it's like I wouldn't do it. But my least favorite is Devil's Den. It's so overrated.
Well, but it has a good purpose, right?
I know.
Beginner divers.
Yes, and I would go again. You know, if I teach students and we go, definitely Devil's Den is a great place.
Exactly.
But I'm never gonna be like, Woody, you want to hit Devil's Den on the way to?
Well, but I mean, I think it's a very, very good starter place because it's got easy platforms. You can't really get lost. I don't know. My least favorite place. That's really difficult.
Devil's Den it's enough.
We've
done it enough. It's enough.
Yeah, maybe some of the quarries here and there. Quarries can be tough. They're cold. They're dark. There's not a lot to see.
Let's see. What's the most shocking dive you've ever did? The most shocking. I mean, it would have to be the Glass Factory, just because it's unbelievable.
I would say
in a good way.
Yeah, and for me, I would say a rescue that I had to do for somebody on a rebreather at 75 feet. Not maybe, but 100% saved their life. They were, It was in the open ocean. They would not have lived had I not been there. And it was just lucky that I happened to be next to them.
People thought we were in different houses, Woody. See, we should start a show like Robin Big. You never watched that show, did you?
No.
Do you even watch TV?
Yes, quantum physics, multi-universe theory, string theory.
Forget I asked.
And then aliens are visiting and how octopus got here. So I do watch TV.
Perfect nonsense. Most favorite or funniest dive video you've ever reviewed? Man, that's a good one. What's been my favorite?
I mean, funniest could be Donald Cerrone, I would have to say.
Yeah,
there's some funny moments there, right?
The first Cerrone was my favorite.
I mean, he was so, man,
it's ridiculous,
crazy what he was saying. We were laughing a lot. There is a lot of difference between freshwater and saltwater diving. Not just the buoyancy issues, but the life, right? Totally different marine life. Temperature, the look, the type of gear you need. So, yes, big difference between the two. That's a good question, though.
Yeah. But that Cerrone one was... I love that people are trying to come up with ideas for the title. Woody and Big. It's better than Big Woody, I guess. I don't know.
Well, Big Woody.
That's weird.
I like that. Could be...
That's... I don't know.
A shirt.
I think people would...
Big Woody could be a shirt.
I think it's clickbait.
Big Wood.
I don't know.
Why? That's a nice shirt, I think.
All right. Clickbait. Let's see. Once in Florida, I saw my first hammerhead on a wreck. Yeah, hammerheads are awesome.
A lot of them in South Florida, and certainly a ton of them in the Bahamas, the great hammerheads. But the most I've ever seen is in the Galapagos, maybe 500 to 1,000 at once. They're called the Galapagos hammerhead. They're smaller, and you just see schools of them. And they surround you, so they let you get in their school, and then they're just circling you. And they're just sitting there in the current enjoying like free food. So you literally see hundreds, if not thousands, at once in the Galapagos. That for me, at least.
Going to Jupiter in 2 weeks, hoping to see some sharks. Absolutely.
You will probably see sharks. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you, Alex. Or Dustin, sorry. I don't know why I said Alex.
Seaskin dry suit? I don't know the brand.
Me neither.
I haven't dove it. I haven't used it, so...
Send me one.
I can't even opine on it. I love diving dry. I dive dry now more than wet.
Wow. Effe just joined.
Effe, we were just talking about you. Like, all really complimentary things.
Well,
it depends. Define complimentary. Like, one of the compliments was, let's say you're on a 14-hour drive with Effe. I said to everybody on this, it's so awesome because I don't have to think or talk. In a way, that's a compliment if you think about it. Or,
well,
you maybe.
Hear any more from Adventures with Purpose on helping them learn some stuff you thought will help? Kind of. So what happened is, and I don't want to share a whole lot of information because I don't know how much of this is public, but they were very gracious in sharing a lot of stuff with us. But one of the divers, the supporting divers that has been featured on the latest videos, he actually reached out to me, and you know, when I got a message saying, he's like, call me. I'm like, oh boy, they were not very happy. But I called him. The guy's like, I watched the video. I want to come train with you guys. Like, I loved it. I think you guys are 100% right. We haven't received the right training. I want to pay, even if Jerry or whatever, they don't cover it. I want to come and train with you guys. So that was awesome. And he said, I'm going to ask the other divers in the group to see who will be willing to go and train. So at least one of them is definitely motivated to do it. I don't know if the whole team is going to do it or not, but we haven't heard anything from like the two guys that we feature on the video, which are Doug and Jared. I haven't heard anything from them. No
They're good. They're really good guys, and they do serve a great purpose. We were just encouraging them that for some of the types of dives, where they're using new gear or certain depth, that they'll enjoy getting the training. It wasn't critical. It's just it's promoting safety. Everybody should get training for the levels they want to reach. It makes a difference.
Yep. Let's see.
Scuba Girls International is Terry, by the way. She's on here and trying to grow her YouTube channel, which is kind of cool. She's done some great interviews. So, guys, go check it out. I mean, I think she's going to interview us. Together? I don't know what that's going to go. I look forward.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be... I don't care. That's better if you don't. That's why.
No, anyway. She did so awesome on her first live stream ever. She looked like a pro.
Yeah, man.
Much better than us. Much better than this. Whatever we're doing, she did
whatever
better.
we do,
she did better.
Every video. When we talk, in a way. Well, people like us, so thank you.
We appreciate that.
What's our formal training on YouTube?
What?
Get in front of a mic and talk about diving.
There's training on YouTube?
Yeah. And by the way, Terry, who is Scuba Girls International, is going to be taking her Kiss Spirit Rebreather class with me shortly. Coming up, Terry, like in a week. Get ready to have your dive life changed forever, literally. And guess what she's going to earn? She will get the Kiss, I'm a Kiss Tech CCR diver shirt that Gus designed. Yeah, so she'll have the right to get that shirt once she gets certified on her Spirit. Her Spirit is at my house. Yep, you are going to have a boom. You see that? You don't know what the word boom means yet. Terry, you wrote boom. You're going to have booms as one of your drills, many of them. Funny you said that.
There's people who couldn't make it on YouTube, so they make videos about how to make it on YouTube. Interesting.
Well, that was our talk at the NSSCDS, is the top 10, I don't know, what the tips about making successful YouTube videos, something like that, and people liked it.
Yeah, some people really enjoyed that. Other people were like, why? We're at a cave diving conference.
That's great, Raid. You said that watching us has encouraged you basically to go to a local dive shop to get started diving, and that's fantastic. That's the way to do it. Go to your local shop. And the reason we keep going back to local is because that's who you're going to dive with. That's who you're going to associate with. And it's all about the instructor. Forget the agency. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Your instructor is what matters. And you want the support of your local dive shop for gear you're going to buy and stuff like that.
How much is the chemicals, and what is the chemical inside the rebreather?
Well,
soft lime.
Yep. Soft lime. Basically it's like chalk. So what it is it's about, how big is that container? I think they're running about $175 now, and I think that would get you about 12 fills. So 12 different 5 to 7 pound fills. Okay, so whatever 12 times 5 is, so you're looking at about probably 60, 70 pounds worth of sorb is what we call it, which removes the CO2. And that's probably it's gone up. It used to be like the $130 range. Now you're talking about $170.
Yeah. How do you know if it needs changing? It's rated to last for a few hours, depending on how much soap you have. So after a few hours, we have to change it.
Well, thank you. I think it's Trojan USD. Apparently, you were at the USS-CDS.
Truckman, yeah.
We were casual. We were just telling you the truth, the good and the bad, and what you need to expect if you're going to get out there on YouTube, and sort of tips on building a YouTube channel that we have found successful and that we've learned from consultants that we in fact hired as well. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. That's great.
That's awesome. So somebody said we saved their life because something happened inside a wreck, and they were able to stay cool and survive. So
awesome.
I wouldn't take credit for that. I think you did a good job. I mean, you were the one who were inside the wreck, and were able to stay cool. So good job. From the Check Exley episode about his training leading up to this final life, I recently bought a copy of his booklet and think you might find this interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure what the question is, but yeah, we talked about the deep dives that he did on air to prepare for it.
Hey, Robin, our talk apparently is online somewhere.
No, it was recorded, but it was not released. They asked us for permission to release it, and I said, "Can I see it first?" Because you know how I'm such a stickler for good audio and all of that.
Okay.
So I said, "Let me just look at it." No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So. Well, anybody out there, if you guys know Josh, or go on our Dive Talks Facebook page and just put this in as a comment and ask Josh if we can get a copy of it to look at it first. We just neither one of us have seen it, but I have no problem putting that out there.
Any advice for someone who wants to start diving but weighs near 500 pounds? Just get a medical clearance and start diving.
I can't not talk about this. Health and being in shape and your cardio fitness does matter. It's in every dive manual.
Yep.
So be careful. Like, that absolutely can affect you in a very negative way if you're just cardiovascularly dangerously out of shape. Mm-hmm. And you got to be careful with that, man.
Let's see, what else? I think we should start wrapping it up.
Well, I'm glad that our channel has changed your opinion on cave diving. Cave diving is inherently dangerous, but with proper training and continual practice, you can mitigate the risks as long as you never vary from any of the cave diving rules. So it's amazing if you do it right. It's deadly if you just decide to go cave diving and don't get trained. So just, keep it in perspective. But it's awesome, and it'll change the way you dive forever. So anyway, we talked about the Perdix 2. That's how we started this. For those of you that have just come on, I will summarize by saying I love it. It's beautiful, and it's their toughest and most reliable full-size computer that they've ever come out with. Why? Because they put an armored casing with precision titanium surrounding the bezel and dependable titanium piezo touch buttons protect the performance and enhanced electronics. The other thing is that the glass lens guards this new fantastic 2.2-inch bright screen. So it definitely has improved the clarity, the impact, the damage resistance. Really cool vibration modes, more customizable, more gases that you can put in and monitor at once. So it's great. It comes, by the way, in either titanium or titanium black. And I think there is a difference in the pricing. You can look online for the pricings. That, I don't know. I don't have that in front of me for the pricing with a transmitter and without a transmitter. And it's awesome. And I'm going to be using it. It's beautiful. It's thinner profile. Check it out. And it's a great primary computer for recreational diving or open circuit technical diving. And it's an amazing backup computer for closed circuit rebreather diving. That's what I will be using it for.
Let's answer this question from Alex since he did a super chat. So thank you for that. How long after ordering your rebreather does it take to get? Also, ordering spare parts. Being a big guy, it was hard after losing the weight. I feel much better. So Alex has lost like 150 pounds or something.
Congrats.
He's been doing awesome. But the answer about the rebreather is it depends. It depends on which rebreather you bought and who you bought it from as well. I've noticed that it really depends, which one you want. Like right now, for example, there's a high demand for the Sidewinder, not as high for like if you wanted to buy a Sidekick, for example, or a Spirit. So it really depends on the rebreather that you're trying to order on the length. And then for spare parts, when you place your order on the rebreather, you actually have an option to add a spare parts kit, which I added. It's like $200, and it comes with like every O-ring that you need, an extra of everything, like an extra screen for the sorb and little screws and things that you can lose. There's one of each of those, so you never have to like end your dive for the day or whatever just because you lost something. And that's something that works really good when we travel. Woody has a spare parts kit. I have one. The next person has one, so it's like we always have extra of everything.
Help each other out. And by the way, there is a class that Mike Young teaches, which is a much more in-depth class about servicing the rebreather, fixing the rebreather, more than you would learn in the basic class. It's really opening that baby up. And with that said, thank you, everybody, for the continued support, not just for this live stream session. I hope this gave you some good information on the new Perdix 2. It's awesome. And until the next one.